Have you ever heard of a New Year's celebration that's almost 3,000 years old? Well, today we're going to dive into Yennayer, the Amazigh New Year. It's this incredible festival of food, family, and ancient traditions that connects millions of people to a really deep and powerful heritage. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to break down what Yennayer actually is. Then we'll take a trip way back in time to get a handle on the ancient Amazigh calendar. After that, we'll pull up a chair for a pretty special feast, check out some of the unique rituals that welcome the new year, and finally, we'll dig into why this day is such a powerful symbol of pride. All right, let's just jump right in. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is Yennayer? Well, at its core, it's the new year for the Amazigh people. They're the indigenous folks of North Africa. It kicks off their agrarian calendar, which is all about the Earth's seasons, planting and harvesting. And it all goes down every year on January 12th. And a huge part of the celebration is a really deep sense of identity, and it's perfectly captured by this one symbol. This is the Yaz. It comes from the Tifinagh alphabet, and it stands for the free man, which is a really central idea in Amazigh culture. So you see, Yennayer isn't just about marking a new year. It's a huge celebration of freedom, of heritage, and of a connection to the land that goes back forever. Okay, so now we got to talk about the calendar itself, because this is where the history gets absolutely fascinating. We're not talking about a calendar that's a few hundred years old. No, we're talking about millennia. Which, of course, leads to a pretty obvious question, right? If their calendar is that old, what year are they even in right now? Well, the starting point, year one on the Amazigh calendar, actually marks a massive historical win. It goes all the way back to the year 950 BCE, when an Amazigh leader named Kaknach, who you might know is Pharaoh Shoshenq I, actually took the throne of Egypt and started a whole new dynasty. And the math to figure it out is super simple. You just take that starting point, 950, and you add our current Gregorian year. So for 2024, the Amazigh year is 2,974. That's right, they're getting close to the year 3000. It just gives you this incredible sense of the deep, deep historical roots we're talking about here. Now, of course, a celebration this ancient is just packed with traditions, and a whole lot of them revolve around food. The Yennayer feast is where family, the community, and all those wishes for the new year come together at the table. The absolute centerpiece of the celebration is the Amazigh. It's this amazing special dinner that brings everyone together. And the meal itself is rich in flavor, but it's also packed with symbolism, representing the bounty of the land and all the hopes for a really prosperous year. And the dishes themselves kind of tell a story. They're often made with a mix of grains and legumes. You've got chickpeas, beans, wheat, lentils. Every single ingredient is a gift from the earth, and it all symbolizes fertility and the hope for a great harvest in the new year. But beyond all the symbolic ingredients, there's this one tradition that adds a little bit of excitement, maybe even a little magic to the whole meal. See, one of the dishes served during the Amazigh has a secret hidden inside. Here's how it works. Before serving, someone will hide a single solitary date seed, an agramui no azar, somewhere inside the big communal dish, whether it's couscous or some kind of hearty stew. So picture this. The whole family's gathered around the table, everyone's digging in, and there's this little buzz of anticipation in the air because everyone is secretly wondering, am I going to be the one? Because the person who finds that date seed in their portion is said to be blessed with Amazigh, that's good luck and fortune, for the entire coming year. It's just a really wonderful, fun tradition that totally captures that spirit of hope for the future. Okay, so besides that amazing feast, Yennayer is also filled with all these other rituals. And they're all designed to kind of sweep out the old and welcome in a new year of prosperity and blessings. And these things are all deeply symbolic. Families will do a deep clean of their homes, out with the old, in with the new. It's also a traditional time for a child's very first haircut, which marks a new chapter in their life. And get this, to avoid tying up their luck, people will often stay away from things that involve knots, like sewing or weaving. And of course, there's a special greeting. You'll hear people wishing each other Asegas Amagas. It's this beautiful phrase that means a blessed and prosperous new year. So this all brings us to a really big point, because as you've probably figured out by now, Yennayer is so much more than just a date on the calendar. It's a really profound expression of cultural identity. When it comes right down to it, celebrating Yennayer is a powerful statement. It's an affirmation of Amazigh identity, a declaration of a unique history, a rich language, and this unbreakable bond with the land of North Africa that has lasted for thousands of years. It's really a moment of incredible cultural pride. And by practicing these traditions, the feast, the search for the lucky seed, all those rituals, families are making sure that this ancient heritage isn't just remembered, it's being lived. It's this vibrant, living bridge that connects elders to children, passing that knowledge and that sense of identity from one generation to the very next. And, that really leaves us with something to think about. Yennayer is a perfect example of a tradition that survived for almost 3,000 years, carrying stories and values and a sense of belonging all the way through time. So it makes you wonder, right? What about the ancient traditions in our own lives and cultures? How do they continue to shape who we are today?